Once there was a large boulder that was perched on top of a tall mountain. It was very lonely. It just sat day after day with no other rocks to talk to.
I'm so lonely.
One day, there was an enormous earthquake that shook the mountain. The boulder teetered and tottered and tilted, and with a mighty roar, tumbled down the side of the mountain. When it reached the bottom, it landed with a huge thud and split into two pieces. The Lonely Rock now had a friend. Yay! They talked for a long time until it began to rain. This did not bother the rocks at first, but some of the water got into the cracks of the larger rock. That night, the water froze and expanded, so that by the next morning, a small piece of the rock had fallen off.
Why do you want it?
3 years later.
This happened many times over the next few years, and the Lonely Rock found that it was gaining more and more friends. The Lonely Boulder was getting smaller and smaller, but he didn't mind. He was just so happy to have so many new rocks to talk to. One day, it rained, and it seemed like it would never stop. A rainstorm had come and flooded the entire landscape. The Lonely Boulder noticed that water had begun to wash away some of his friends. He was very sad about this, and he began to cry, which only added to the so much water that he began to wash away. As he washed downstream, he bounced off other rocks and boulders that broke pieces of him off. The Lonely Boulder was now very small. He kept on washing down until he wound up in a creek. Then he was washing to a river and continued until he reached the mouth where it met the ocean. He was very confused and lonely. All of a sudden, he heard a familiar voice. Hey, listen! He looked around him and saw his entire rock family. They had all been deposited here at the mouth of the river when the water could no longer push hard enough to move them. The Lonely Boulder was no longer a boulder, but he was no longer lonely either. Yay!
The end. Ligament!